If you happen to sail out of Orlando's Port Canaveral, you are likely to see a very big mix. Carnival's party yacht vibe in one direction, Royal Caribbean's amusement park at sea megaships in another, Disney's family first magic, and Norwegian's freestyle energy. And then there's MSC Seashore, which quietly plays a slightly different tune. It's not trying to beat anyone at karaoke, it's aiming for stylish Mediterranean hospitality with lots of outdoor space, specialty dining, and some luxe hideouts like the Yacht Club. I want to share with you several noticeable ways the Seashore stands apart as I recently sailed on her to the Bahamas and the Caribbean. I'm the solo cruiser Wade Heath, and if you feel my reporting and perspective bring you any sort of value, please consider subscribing to the channel and ensure that like button is firmly pressed. Here we go. First up, a Mediterranean European hospitality style. That's not to say anybody is rude here, but the service is delivered in a very different way. It's where MSC's roots really show. Seashore leans into a European culinary and service sensibility. More multiple specialty restaurants, Mediterranean-inspired menus, more formal main dining options, rather than the highly casual fast food style Lido decks you'll find on many Carnival or Royal Caribbean ships. That subtle difference changes the onboard atmosphere. A little more European resort and a touch less boardwalk Carnival in tone. My practical takeaway is this: if you want a cruise where evenings feel more like restaurant hopping and sipping martinis than eating burgers by the pool, well then, the Seashore delivers. Next up, more outdoor spaces. The Seashore added length and deck space compared with the original Seaside vessels within MSC's fleet, more alfresco areas, additional outdoor venues, and reworked promenades. MSC marketed Seashore as having a very high outdoor space per guest ratio, which matters on sunny Florida sailings. If sea breezes and deck time are priorities, well then the Seashore scores. But I will tell you, there isn't a lot of shade on these outdoor decks. Yes, they added plenty of outdoor space, but you're not going to find a ton of shade. That's probably the one drawback to the Seashore is anywhere you go outside, very little shade is offered, and you are roasting within about 30 minutes or so. So limit, perhaps, your outdoor time if that is something that you're looking for. But the Seashore definitely has a lot of space in which to move around for those outdoor locations. Next up, the specialty dining is a centerpiece. Seashore features multiple specialty restaurants, the Butcher's Cut Steakhouse, Kato Teppanyaki and Sushi, Ola Tacos and Cantina, Ocean K Seafood, and more. MSC has recently standardized specialty dining pricing into prefix packages, so while food quality is often praised, I would say expect to budget for extras if you love specialty dining. That contrasts with some competitor ships that include more casual food choices in the fare. And I would say, as just a tip for you, pre-book specialty dining packages online when available. You'll usually get the best value before boarding. I keep an eye on the MSC website all the time. They're almost always running some sort of discount option with specialty dining. So if you just pay attention long enough, you can score a deal and not have to spend nearly as much on your cruise. I often find that the specialty dining locations are fairly empty on night one, as I've seen on pretty much any cruise line. So it's a place that you can go on night one and usually get a walk-up reservation if that's something you're looking for. I always say don't risk it though. If you can go ahead and book, do it. But it is certainly something that I noticed on the Seashore when I visited. To follow, the MSC Yacht Club, a ship within a ship luxury option. The Seashore offers the MSC Yacht Club Enclave with private restaurant, lounge, pool, dedicated service, and 24/7 butler-style amenities. It's MSC's answer to a luxury tier, similar in concept to ship-within-a-ship products on other lines, but with MSC's design and service model. If you like being able to retreat to a quiet, exclusive space while still having access to the whole ship, the Yacht Club is a big differentiator. And here I'd say is who it's for. couples or travelers wanting more privacy, and elevated service without booking a separate luxury line. Now, I too enjoyed myself as a solo at the MSC Yacht Club. It was like our own little community, and it was service around the clock with the lap of luxury to explore a complete itinerary in. If it's something you are interested in, I'll link my entire Yacht Club experience here at the end of the video. Moving on, entertainment and unique show concepts. MSC blends Broadway-style productions, nightclub programming, and MSC's in-house carousel productions, and sometimes even Cirque-style performances on other ships, rather than the IP-heavy stage shows you might find on, say, Disney, for example, with their character musicals, or Royal Caribbean production with large-scale free attractions. Seashore's entertainment palette aims to be a theater-forward and varied type approach. I would say this is the type of environment where if you really want to go, make sure you book it in the app. Now, it's complimentary, but by booking it in the app, you essentially reserve your spot. The only reason why I mention this is because I did see on my sailing that was completely sold out, that there were times people were standing in the aisles and they were limiting access to the theater because the theater itself isn't big enough to accommodate everybody on board. So if it's something you really want to see, make sure that you go into the MSC For Me app and book it in advance. And on that note, the MSC For Me app is something you should be aware of. Make sure you have it downloaded prior to your arrival. So much of what MSC does is through the app. So it promotes their tech features like the MSC For Me app to manage bookings, dining reservations, and activities, similar to other major lines, but really built around MSC's ecosystem. This is also where you can find so many different answers to your questions throughout the day. There are no like paper itineraries, day-by-day paper programs that a lot of people get delivered to their staterooms on other cruise lines. That doesn't happen here. You have to use your phone. You have to use a digital device, and a lot of times what you need is already loaded within the app. In addition to that, the app is also something that can connect you to what they call like the virtual concierge. The guest service desk here on MSC is often heavily inundated, like most guest service desks, and rather than having to go stand in line at a guest service desk, just use the virtual concierge. I did. I even used it to voice a concern about a situation I was having and made sure that it logged it for me. I asked. I later called guest services just to make sure that that had been logged, and they said it had, that the virtual concierge made sure that the concern that I had expressed was actually part of that voyage's feedback. And I thought, okay, so this thing really does work. So it's a lot easier, again, than standing in line at guest services, and certainly is something that utilizes, I think, AI to really answer more basic questions for you. So something to keep in mind and hopefully save you some time if you choose an MSC voyage. Beyond that, itineraries and private island tie-ins. MSC Seashore sails Caribbean Bahamas type itineraries from Florida home ports, while MSC's private island Ocean Cay is more commonly served from Miami-based deployments. MSC's overall product includes the eco-conscious private island experience on many Caribbean sailings, something that the Seashore almost always does, so it almost always goes there. Something unique, I would say, compared with lines that use third-party private islands or beach resort takeovers. If your Orlando itinerary connects to MSC routes serving Ocean Cay, that's a distinct MSC advantage. It is a destination that is a true tropical paradise. And moving on with the value proposition. MSC often markets a lower base fare with many extras. So specialty dining as an extra, drink packages as an extra, Wi-Fi, shore excursions, you name it, all sold a la carte, or some that can be packaged. That can be a lot cheaper on paper compared with all-inclusive packages on more premium lines. But final cost, of course, depends on your add-ons. The trade-off really is flexibility versus completely inclusive. And that is something that you need to consider when you approach MSC. I feel like a lot of folks sort of assume that they're going to be getting similar experiences to, say, Carnival or Norwegian. MSC is very different, and MSC's approach is kind of this no-frills baseline proposition of value, where the buy-in is quite low, but anything else you're going to need to add into the mix in order to be able to enjoy. Now, that's not to say that you don't get access to the pool deck. You certainly do, right? A lot of general amenities are there. However, a lot of additional extras that are included in other cruise lines sometimes will have to be an upcharge. So, something to consider before approaching an MSC cruise for you. In the end, who should pick the MSC Seashore when sailing from Orlando? Well, here are a couple of things to consider. If you want a Mediterranean European vibe with menus and service sensibility, this might be for you. If you value outdoor deck space and promenades for sea time, this might be the place for you. You enjoy specialty restaurants and planned evening dining experiences, this could also be for you. You like the option to upgrade to the Yacht Club for a quieter luxury enclave. Well, that is a value on MSC, I have to say. By comparison of a lot of other ships, this exclusivity is something that will cost you far less than it will on other ships, so that might be for you. Or you're price conscious in general and willing to pay for extras selectively, but having that low buy-in means it still gets you out to sea. The Seashore might be for you. However, if you want non-stop family theme park immersion, go to Disney. Or massive onboard free attractions, some Royal Caribbean mega ships might be more your speed. Those other lines may suit you better just because you're looking for something different. Carnival, by the way, tends to be a better pick for loud, carefree, value party vacations, whereas Seashore offers a completely different tone. It's stylish and resort-like rather than high-energy Carnival. They still throw parties, they still have a lot of fun, however, it's in a much more subdued atmosphere. Have you ever cruised on the MSC Seashore yourself? What did you think? Was it worth that bottom basement value buy-in? Did you add a bunch of extras in order to enjoy yourself? Or was it enough the way that it was? I'd be interested in hearing your perspective in the comments, or if you happen to be planning an MSC Seashore cruise in the near future, thinking about taking one, let me know if you have any questions about the ship. I will be happy to answer them for you. And I know you heard me mention a little bit earlier, I've also experienced the MSC Yacht Club here on the Seashore, that ship within a ship luxury experience. If you're interested in seeing what that is like behind the gates on the Seashore, I will go ahead and link that for you here on the right, or for other cruise tips and tricks, check out that video on the left. For the Solo Cruiser, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time.